But the idea of Drunk History came from our great friend Jake Johnson, who was
Really?
very intoxicated. Him and I were both drunk, but he was a little more drunk, and we were talking about the great Otis Redding, and Jake was trying to convince me that Otis Redding, he's like, you know that Otis knew he was going to die before he got on the plane that crashed? No, I didn't know that. Yeah, man. So, like, Otis, like, right before he got on the plane, he, like, looked at his wife, and he's like, baby, I got to go. And she was like, I know, Otis. I'll see you when you get back. And he was like, no, baby, I've got to go. And he was like staring at me like I was going to be like, oh my God, Jake, I never knew this story. But I was just staring at him and picturing Otis Redding behind Jake, just like shaking his head like, don't fucking believe this story. It's bullshit. So I was like, maybe we could shoot that. And I asked Jake, I was like, I want to reenact that story that you told last night. Like, I think it was really funny, and I would like to have actors like lip syncing Otis Redding and his wife going back and forth. He's like, no, man, I'm an actor. I can't be drunk on TV or on the internet.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't want it on the internet. It'll just be a short. He said no. And I asked my dear friend Mark Gagliardi, who was just on Jeopardy, which is really cool. And
Hey.
he was one of the smartest people I've ever met. And we were in Second City together. And I asked him, I said, what's a moment in history that you think more people need to know about? And he said, I just watched this awesome documentary on the duel between Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton. I was like, would you be comfortable telling me about that, but really intoxicated? He's like, okay, all right. So really an idea that could have not gone well. And for the first 6 hours, it really didn't go well.
It was
But
that
Jeremy
long?
Connor and I, he's the director, and he came over with a camera. And we were doing a bunch of shorts together. So I was like, I have this idea. We're going to shoot my drunk friend, and then we'll reenact it. Let's just see how it goes. And the first 6 hours were just a drunk person trying to be funny, which people never, ever think of. They're like, that show looks like so much fun. No, it wasn't. I mean, the parts that were fun were really fun, but getting someone drunk is not fun. And also, because every human being wants to be funny when they're drunk, I never wanted
they're
it to
trying
be
too hard.
comedy. I wanted the premise to be comedy, but they have to be, the more sincere they are and pissed off that I'm not understanding what they're trying to tell me, the funnier I thought it would be. So once he got drunk and just kept repeating shit, I was like, man, this is going to be awesome. And one thing I don't know if I've ever said publicly, like the original, it was an idea that I had told a bunch of friends, but I never could find the right people to do it with. But Justin Roiland was going to be the original Hamilton. And then
No way.
Michael Cera's like, hey, I'm going to be in town tomorrow. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, Justin.
No way.
And
Lost
he's
the
like,
role of
no,
Sarah.
let Michael do it. And yeah, but I always say, like, it's a cool idea, but it wouldn't have become popular if Michael Cera wasn't on it.
I was gonna ask you like what your connection was to that whole group.
Just
I guess
networking parties,
Really?
you know. I get drunk at networking parties, SAG
Oh, it comes down to
conventions.
the drunk.
You know.
Yeah.
No, I'd been here for a couple. I met him through Bill Hader and just the comedy scene is how I met Michael. But I also should say that I never wanted this on the internet. So my dream was that somebody would pick it up. Like I sent it to Conan, I sent it to The Daily Show, Saturday Night Live, thinking maybe this idea could be a monthly sketch. I was like, fuck the internet. I don't want people I don't know to tell me if something's good or not. But no one responded to the DVD.
Really?
And so I was like, home at Christmas, I was like, everyone's bored. Maybe this will be a video people will like, and just put it on YouTube and got on the front page, and it was really exciting. And Jeremy, who I did it with, worked with Jack Black. And Jack Black was like, I want to do one. I was like, okay, we'll do one more. And it was always that thing where I was like, I don't want this to get old. I don't want it to get old. So
I feel like it never did. I feel like I could still watch more if they kept coming out, man.
thanks, man.
Of course.
Thank you.
So your first one happened, got big on YouTube. How many more did you do before they started? I know Funny or Die picked them up, but how many did you do before they started to like really gain traction?
Well, I mean, I think traction. I mean, the first one did really well, and I think then when Jack Black did it, we did 2 with him, and then Danny McBride, and then after Oh, and then Paul Schrader, William Henry Harrison, that's 5. So then after that is when Funny or Die and HBO were working together, and we did that LOL show and did the story of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln with Will Ferrell and Don Cheadle, which then that won the best short in 2010 at Sundance, which still blows my mind.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So then, after that, then we did the Christmas special with Jim Carrey and Ryan Gosling. But also the other Funny or Die HBO was Crispin Glover and John C. Reilly, which was a dream come true for both of them. But really, like meeting Crispin Glover and realizing he's human, it was really cool.
Damn.
And he's like, I haven't seen John since What's Eating Gilbert Grape. I was like, what the fuck?
They're all just
They're
normal
in
people and
What's
they're
Eating
friends.
Gilbert Grape?
Yeah.
Do you remember that they're in What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
I haven't seen that movie since I was so little. I had no
Yeah.
idea he's in that movie.
I know.
I feel like I remember him as, wasn't he like the, Crispin Glover wasn't he like the villain in a Charlie's Angels movie or like the weird guy? Like,
Didn't talk. I don't
Yeah.
think he has any lines. I think that was
that's
his
crazy that
idea.
that's my frame of reference, but I do remember him being like so spooky.
He's the coolest. I love him.
That's
Anyway,
awesome.
sorry.
No,
But yes,
you're good.
that was where, and then it became, well, I should say, people were saying you should turn it into a TV show, and I was like, 5 minutes is all you can take of a drunk person. That's all. They get very annoying. You don't want this to get old, and they become obnoxious. You don't want that. So I got really inspired when I saw this show BBC made called Stephen Fry Does America, and it's him going across America learning about history, and he's British, so it kind of makes sense. And I was like, well, I look stupid and I talk slow, so what if I did my version of that, it was called Drunk History Across America, where I was trying to figure out what happened. At 30 years old, I don't know what happened in our country. And Comedy Central gave a great note, which was like, yeah, we like it, but don't make it about your journey. Make it about like everyone else's journey learning these stories, which was a really good note. And